Hey, today with us we have content creator Sarah Ó Tuama. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got started as an influencer?
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't really cast myself like an influencer, but I know for your project I would be considered like a micro influencer. I got started doing like content when I studied in DCU, and I suppose I was just like around a lot of like very creative and like-minded people, and I've always kind of had like a passion for content creation.
Nice. So now that we know a little bit more about you, I'll jump into the more in-depth questions. So, what would you classify as an objectifying post?
I would say anything that you look at and you're like, whoa, like a post that would give you like a shock factor. Like I suppose I'd say it would be more in the end of like that shock factor and like using your appearance like for that shock factor.
Mm-hmm. So, do you ever have to market products or brands? And if so, could you explain your marketing strategies?
Yeah, I do actually. A lot through my work, especially now that TikTok Shop has become available in Ireland. And I suppose my marketing strategy really is, I'm hoping that the people following me like my personality and that they like trust me enough. So I really try to use like products for a while before, and then it's like building that trust and that authenticity. Like I'm not like an aesthetic person with like perfect skin, so like I think honesty and realness would be like my biggest marketing strategy. But then also using like good storytelling techniques like hooks or visual hooks, because like you are on the app to be entertained like at the end of the day.
Yeah, so true actually. Do you feel pressure to present yourself in a certain way or like online to promote products?
I would, because I do a lot of beauty products, so definitely like making sure that your makeup is on point for your beauty products, because no one's gonna like trust you unfortunately. Like, and it goes hand in hand with the industry, but like there's definitely like a little bit of pressure there.
Mm-hmm. Do you think objectification is a common marketing tool amongst influencers? Like, how do you feel about it? Do you think it works?
I think now people like don't really buy into that anymore. Like often you could get like the opposite effect. Like you have a lot of people getting hate if they're wearing something that might be seen as like too revealing, or if they're using their appearance in a way to get like more views. But then there are some like campaigns which like still do that. Like it comes kind of like in a 360, but I feel like it really depends on your audience. So I think people move away from it a little bit more now.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the industry encourages authenticity, or does it reward those who focus on appearances?
I think now it encourages authenticity, but then at the same time, I feel like there is still a beauty standard perpetuated. And definitely I think success comes a little bit easier to those who might be seen as like conventionally attractive. But I think now it's kind of coming back around again, and people want to see like different types of people. Like they want to see representation, and that is like really important, and that matters a lot more now. So I think authenticity still is rewarded, but once you kind of get like into like a smaller scale, and then once you get into mainstream media, like then people tend to tear that down. I think there's like a step, like you're like good being authentic when you're down here and being yourself, and then once you go up here, it's like, okay, like now you need to fit into the beauty standards. Like, does that make sense?
No, yeah, it does, yeah. Do you see any ethical issues in using objectification to promote products?
I mean, again, it depends on the audience. I think if your audience is primarily younger people, like young women or young boys, it can be really kind of like, as I said, like they perpetuate beauty standards or body image issues. Like there's so much, especially on TikTok, there's so much like body tracking and stuff like that. So I think you really have to be like careful with that. Like your body shouldn't be the sole, or your appearance shouldn't be the sole basis of your content, because people are so much more than that. Like you have to be really careful with that, and like with what you're subjecting your audience to, because at the end of the day, like it is your responsibility.
Yeah, of course. How do you balance creating engaging content while maintaining authenticity?
I think you want to always just like show the really good side and like the fun stuff. And I'm doing this and this and this, but like honestly, people relate the most to relatability. I've seen like a lot of people talking about like oh, I used to have this favorite creator, but now they're like minted and they go on like private jets every day. And like, yes, like it's interesting to watch, but like it's no longer relatable. So I just think like having the balance of showing you're a normal person, especially when you're just starting.
Oh yeah, that's so fair. Are there ways to successfully market products without relying on objectification?
Yeah, I think definitely. Like, I think whenever I'm trying to, like, when I'm marketing something, I want to be, like, I want to let the products do the talking. So that's why I tend to, like, I try stuff out for a while before I like make a specific video on it, and if it's a good product, then you don't really need to say like too much about it, you know?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for coming on and sharing your thoughts.
Of course, it was so lovely to be on here, and thank you.